another Star Trek Let's Play, or should I say Let's Show in this case, because what I'm about to show you now is the Tier 6 variant of the Voth science vessel, but this one is pretty much known as the Temporal science vessel, because it's gone from being a science vessel to a temporal science vessel. And basically the only difference between the Tier 6 variant and the Tier 5 variant is obviously the back of it looks a bit different. Like, it's got 5 engines instead of its 2 engines, and it's got the bit on the back that's I can't remember what you call, I'm not sure what you call the bit on the back of it, but either way, that part on the back of it is just different, and the front part is also more open as well. Well, when I say open, I don't mean open, I mean it has that like green bit at the front, basically. Now, if you're wondering what it looks like without the Roman shield, I'll gladly show you that. Actually, it would help if I get out of the way so you can actually see it fully. There you go. So now you can see the 5 engines on the back of it. You can see that arc light thing. You can see the little green thing on the front. And yes, it looks shiny because I've got the upgraded skin on it. Most of our ships come with these and such. Now, I will say again that this ship is no different than its Tier 5 variant of it. The only difference is that it's got a tray, and again it comes with the 360 weapon, which you cannot upgrade, not as far as I know. Although I do wish that they would allow you to upgrade it, but apparently they haven't yet. And I think that's due to the case that they are. I think it's due to the case that they are allowing Tier 6 ships to be used by beginners and such like that. You know, when you start off on the game as a new character or a new toon, whichever you like to call them, you basically can use these ships when you reach when you reach level 10. Good God. Yeah, I think that's quite a handy thing to have and such, and I think the idea of the 360 weapon being used for a beginner's level is a good idea, but at the same time, I do wish it was upgradable as well, but hey ho, beggars can't be choosers. But anyway, yeah, you may notice that most of my weapons on it is still like anti-protons and such that, and I'm using a mixture of different anti-proton arrays and such. Now, I'm not using the Voth anti-proton on this one, I'm just going full, you know, just standard anti-protons, or the ones that you get with the reputation, or the ones that you get free from events and such. The reason why I've gone for obviously the ancient one is because you can actually, it's part of the actual obelisk set, and if you got the just only 2 of the set, it actually helps increase your anti-proton damage. Now, I will say with my tactical consoles, I do need to actually replace them with fleet variants of these, so I can actually have more criticals and such, because that's where your hits mostly come from. It's from your critical chances and critical severities. I mean, if you look at this one, the critical chance is only 11%, which is not at all that great, where the severity is 97%. Again, it needs to be above 100 for that, in my opinion, where this one needs to be at least 20% or something like that, or even 25%. But at least if you can get it to at least 20%, then at least you know you're getting more of a good chance of getting the critical hits and such. But that's what I'm roughly getting. I'm not sure if that's right what I'm saying, but if you think that there's a better way of doing it, you know, feel free to let me know in the comment section. But anyway, going back to the Voth ship, basically its masteries, again, it's no different than its Tier 5 variant. Yeah, it's the same masteries, you know, like the 50% damage to its audit damage abilities, 10% shield hit points, sorry, improves hull healing abilities by 10%, including shield healing abilities by 10% as well. And then it has the shield regeneration every 6 seconds, followed by 5% shield resistance. So you got those standard things that you get with the Tier 5 variant. The only thing is this trait, which is the rapid response shielding trait, which gives you well, let me just read it out. When decloaked or activating emergency power 2 shield for 30 seconds, it gives you plus 25% maximum shield capacity, plus 50 Starship exotic particle generator, improves exotic damage, plus 50 Starship drain expertise, improves energy and steel drain, resistance to SEM, and yeah, that's what it basically does really. And it also comes with the universal enhanced action field generator, which unfortunately you cannot use on any other ship apart from just the Voth ships. These Voth consoles alone are just only meant for the Voth ships only, which I say is fair because even though yeah, at the same time it'd be nice that you can use them on other ships, but at the same time I think it's fair because Voth stuff should be made on Voth ships and such. And plus, I think that's probably the selling point of the ship as well. And the good thing about this one, because it's enhanced, it gives you an increase. It gives you because it's in the enhanced version of the action field generator. The big difference between that and the standard one is that it gives you the plus 15 Starship hull capacity, the plus 15 Starship drain expertise, and so forth. And you can tell that this vessel is meant to be a hybrid of a Psi and engineering vessel, like most of the Voth vessels. Even though that I do see a tactical chance with this one because of the speed of it and so forth, but yeah, you can actually definitely see the typical Voth trait in this one. Obviously, I've got the ward repair, which is from the tier 5 Voth dreadnought ship, and I know they're going to release this tier 6 version of that eventually, either with the R&D boxes or another box, but either way, probably with a box that I wouldn't be able to. Well, the chances of me getting it would be very slim. Let's just put it that way. But hey ho, I'm happy with the 2 ships that I've got anyway. And I suppose I could always wait on the exchange. And obviously, I've got the enhanced reflective shield amplifier, which comes from the flight deck Voth ship. And obviously, this one gets plus 70. I wish it did. Plus 7.5 shield power setting, plus 15 Starship hull capacity, which increases Starship maximum hit points. So it gives you an increase in hull and such. Anyway, I'll switch over to my tier 5 variant of this and show you basically the difference. Now, the obvious difference you will notice, ignoring the colour, because that's due to the shield I got from the Riser events. Well, you can get this shield by using Riser favours, basically. But going back to the important thing, as you notice, let me just get this off. As you notice that the back of it's got 2 engines. It ain't got that arc thing, and it doesn't have that little open bit in the middle where it shows that little like green bit and such. So you will obviously notice the difference between it, but skin-wise you'll notice a big difference. But other than that, it's not that much of a difference really. It still has its similar sleek look and typical Voth appearance to it. But yeah, it still has the same masteries, like exotic, damage to exotic, shield hit points, hull healing, shield healing, and so forth and so on. And basically, again, this is the standard action field generator. Now, obviously, you will notice that it's no different than the other one, but except that it doesn't have the extra bits like the plus bits that you saw on the top of it and so forth. And it's the same thing with the reflected shield amplifier. That's the standard one as well. And obviously, that comes from the standard, like tier 5 variant of the flight deck cruiser, basically. So that's the big difference between the enhanced and the standard version. Standard versions, even. Good God, I will get my words out eventually. Anyway, let's switch back to this one, and then I can show you in action. I can show her in action, basically. Now, she did cost me about 177 mil on exchange, which is pretty cheap for tier 6 ships, and usually tier 6 ships are not that cheap. They usually are about 2 mil, 250 mil, sometimes 300 mil. It all depends. But luckily these ones were going down for 177 mil EC of credit wise on the exchange. And I would definitely say if you got the Earth credits, I would recommend getting these while they're going cheap on the exchange. And your credits can be gained through selling stuff on the game or doing certain missions or so on and so on. Obviously it takes a lot to get the amount of Earth credits that you need for a ship, because you need more than just doing the missions and doing the odd selling here and there. You need to actually like get stuff that is worth a lot of Earth credits. But anyway, but yeah, these are going very cheap at the moment and that, but I can guarantee you they will pop up in price. They will go up to like at least 250 mil in price, or even 300 mil in price. So yeah, so get them while they're cheap, I would say. But anyway, let's see. Right, let's put her into action, and so you can actually see what she's like. Now, obviously, I'm going to be doing the one of the Omega missions, and I know that you are going to be thinking again that, oh, can't you change it, but sometimes it's one of the best ways to test out a ship, whether you need to actually do a few tweaks to it and such. Now, this one, I can guarantee will probably get destroyed in this because it's not fully upgraded. It's not fully upgraded on its masteries and such, but hopefully it doesn't get blown up, hopefully, but gut feeling tells me it will. But anyway, I will get started on the infected conduct. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because one of my endeavours actually says about destroying Borg ships, so I figured while I'm showing this off I may as well do that endeavour, and then what I'll do is to show it off a little bit more, I will transwarp it to the Spear Zone and destroy the Voth ships and destroy the Onden ships as well, so that way you get a rough idea of what it can do and so forth. Because I know a lot of you people would like to see these ships in actions and so forth. You will notice that my weapon's DPS is not that strong on this vessel. It's due to the fact tactical console's not having enough criticals and such. But give it time, I can easily upgrade those at a later date. But I'm not here to show the DPS of this ship and such. I'm just here to show you guys this ship in action and such. But however, I will be thankful to the other players here that have high DPS, because they are actually probably, well, actually making this mission a whole lot more easier for me, because I can pretty much guarantee I probably would have got blown up by now if it hadn't been for these players with such high DPS. Alright, not all of them are doing like 100k of damage and all that lot, but they are doing like probably about 30 or 40, something like that. Maybe more actually. I don't know. I don't know my DPS is that well, not compared to the pros. But like I said, I don't play for DPSs. I mostly play just to enjoy it and just for what the game is. I mean, yes, I am working on a ship to get it to a high DPS level, but I'm only doing it with one or two ships. I'm not going to go and do it with every single one of my ships, because I like to have a little bit of fun, you know. I like to actually make my ships how I want them and experiment with them, you know. Now it's it is a pity that you can't equip dual cannons on this one, but it would have been good because I've got an arc cannon that would have been good for this one. But again, you know, it's a typical science vessel, so obviously it wouldn't be a science vessel if you could. Well, actually, no, some science vessels can equip cannons. Sorry, I told a lie. But you get the science destroyers and so forth and so on, and let's see, I'm not getting there quick enough. But anyway, yeah. Obviously, it's typical science fashion anyway, so it mostly relies on beams, and I don't blame it really. No, I shouldn't have used that yet. Do these spheres first. You know what, I forgot I was actually doing my endeavours, even though I said it in the first place, like the W top I am, I actually forgot I was doing endeavours. I thought I was just generally showing off the vessel. But I will say this vessel is definitely worth getting if you've got the funds for it and such. You don't have to use real money to get this. You can get it by using the credits and stuff. It is possible to do that. Yes, it takes time, it takes a long while, but I will definitely say if you can do it, go for it, you know. But only if you want to. And like I said with this game, I would say play it at your own pace, play it at your own game, you know. Don't just think, oh, pretty ships make it all awesome. That yes, I can understand where you're coming from there, but at the same time, the ships they give you even in this game, it's pretty good what they give you. Some of them are very stylish as well, and you do get a lot free on this game. Yes, it's a pay to win game, but at the same time they do give away stuff for free and so forth. So I would definitely say, you know, if you want to keep playing for free, you don't want to pay any money, then, you know, keep going at that level. You know, don't go thinking that, oh, I have to spend money, I have to do this. You can actually do things without the need of spending money. Now, I won't be able to show you that because my ways are probably not as efficient compared to most people's ways, but there are tutorials and videos on YouTube that can show you how to get quick EC, how to get quick delivery and such and such. And speaking of videos, I know that there's another person who does ship reviews on YouTube, and he's pretty much famous for that. And I would say if you ever actually come across his channel and so forth, I would recommend going to his channel and have a look at his channel, because he can actually give proper good reviews and well detailed info about the ships and so forth. Where with me, I'm just only showing off what I've basically got that is new, really. I won't be able to show every single ship off because obviously I need funds and such like that for that area. So it takes me time to get the EC to buy these ships and so forth. Or if I was to actually use real money, it takes me time to use real money because at the end of the day, money doesn't grow on trees. So I have to actually, you know, play the game of patience. And what was I supposed to do? Oh yeah, that's where I meant to go. Spear space. Yeah. Well, at least you can see it in the daylight now, rather than in the dark area. Ooh. Sorry, I just noticed that somebody had a Jemadar ship just up above with Phonian colours. I think that's pretty cool. Sorry. But anyway, nothing being distracted there. Oh yeah, and because you got the... Well, even with just the two-piece of the Voth set, you have access to the Voth cloak. But if you get all three, you get access to the Voth battle cloak, like it states in the actual 3-piece set. Like if you get 2, you get Reinforced Hall, Voth cloak, and then set 3 gives you Voth battle cloak. And what's the difference between Voth cloak and the standard cloak? I would say there isn't really much of a difference. It's just effects, I would say, which I think is pretty cool because I like that. This is why I like Voth ships so much, because they're just so unique, so nice, and so forth. I know people are going to be looking forward to the Undying or Species 8472 ships, the Tier 6 variants of them, which will probably be most likely coming soon. That's my bet. Ooh, I'm not missing out on this one. Oh wait, someone's already got it. In that case, I better not take their kill, because otherwise that would be selfish of me. Now, I will apologise in advance if this takes longer than what it should, because sometimes when it comes to doing things in the battle zone, sometimes it can take a little while, but I'm hoping it doesn't, because, well, I just would like it to be a little bit faster, that's all. But there you go, I'll say just bear with me. But I definitely do like the Tier 6 variant of this side, of the Voth side ship, because it just really looks really nice in that. Yes, some people would say, oh, I prefer the 2-engine style, I prefer the sleek look of the other one in it, and I don't blame you, because the other one is actually nice as well, and I do love that one as well. But I also love this one as well. I mean, it just looks so cool, and I'm trying to, I can't put my finger on it, but it just reminds me of a certain ship from another sci-fi show. I just can't even put my finger on it, because, you know, it just reminds me of something. I know a lot of people said about, well, actually one person said about the Herc ships when that was being displayed by another famous YouTuber. One of them actually said, hey, the Herc ships kind of have like a Zentradi look to them from the show Macross / Robotech, because of their living hall look and such. And I was like, yeah, he has a fair point, but if I was to say what has a Zentradi look more, I would definitely say, in my honest opinion, I would say some of the Voth ships do. I would say mostly the Voth Light Deck Cruiser and this one has kind of like a Zentradi look. Alright, it doesn't have the living hall like the Zentradi does, but it's kind of like these, you know, like the design style and such. But that's not me actually saying that they look exactly alike and so on, because obviously, no, they are totally different in design and such, but I'm just saying it kind of has sort of like that reminder to me. But that's just only a matter of my opinion, of course. Now, actually finding Voth ships here can be quite the pain in the butt. Wait a minute, I see something red. Ow. I was thinking, yeah, my first catch of the day. Actually, it wouldn't be my first catch of the day, so I'm shutting up. Don't worry, I will show the Voth shield, the Voth reflective immunity matrix shield, so that way you get to see that. You can cloak, but you can't hide. That's 5 Voth ships destroyed. Now let's go and find those Undying or Species 8472. And yes, it took me a while to remember that number, because I used to get the numbers so jumbled up when I first heard them. It's like Species 8, 7, what, 8, what? And I used to always miss at the 4 or the 2 and such like that. But I have to remember it's like 84, 72 sort of thing. seriously, you ball, because you need to come up with better names than just numbers. Looks like there's a... Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably wait for 2 minutes for this thing to reset itself.
Retreating.
So, yeah. But this is the, make that 3 minutes. But this is the, Undine battle zone, basically. Or 8472's battle zone. Whichever you like to call them. And like with most battle zones, it's basically like playing capture the flag. You do this and that in different areas. At the moment, the map doesn't show anything highlighted yet because they're not in the area yet. But give it another 2 minutes and 35 seconds, there will be. But what you would see across the map is different things highlighted red, which you've got to make blue to be in allied control and such. And basically, you can do it by yourself, or you can do it with other players. And you're guaranteed, when you are in a battle zone, you're guaranteed to always have a player there that will randomly help or something like that. But they don't have to. No one has to do anything in this game. It's just one of those things where if you want to get easy marks, easy delivery and such, then this is kind of like one of those areas that you can easily go for and so forth. Actually, I would have cut out my speed so that way I can put... There we go. Now, you may notice that my weapons are acting poorly in this zone. It's because I'm fighting at level 50 rather than 65. Because this is meant for level 50s and such. But, however, because like you can see there, my energy usually is about 110. And, I mean, I'm not sure if you can... Actually, I'm not sure if you can see my weapons energy. But it's at the moment at 104 when it should be 110 or 15, something like that. So that is low due to the fact that it's put me at a level 50 rather than 65. And I apologise how I explain things. It's just that I keep forgetting that I should actually slow down in my head what I'm saying and actually think before I speak, basically. Because basically my problem with my... this is one of my dyslexia problems. This is yes, it affects my my grammar and spelling and such, but it also affects the way I think and such sometimes. Because sometimes I will think of the word so quickly and want to get everything out so quickly without slowing down up in my head. And sometimes I tend to think too fast and actually try and say everything that's in my head too fast. Hence why my words get jumbled up. Hence why, when I explain anything, it tends to sound a bit blah, 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 all over the place, you know. So I have to sort of like think in my head, slow down, and actually, you know, get my words out. So that's the reason why now and again I keep giving it. Hence why every now and again I tend to get stuck in my words. There we go, because I'm thinking too quickly in what I want to say without actually thinking slow enough and actually getting out the words what I should be saying. If that makes sense. And they should be back now. These should be highlighted up any moment. There we go. Now all this red area is basically your mission area, basically what you've got to do. And each one is different. But I'm not here to do the actual missions. I'm actually here to kill the Undying ships. So the missions that I'm doing here is really irrelevant to me. But if there are players doing it and if they ever did needed help in doing these missions, I don't mind helping them out, you know, because I'm not like some arrogant so-and-sos that go, oh no, do it yourself, you know, I'm far too greater than you. And it's like, stop with that attitude. You don't have... That's the wrong attitude to have in anything, really. If you go with an attitude of being too arrogant and such, you're going to just end up... just going to make people not like you. So it's best to have an attitude of where you're pretty much chill, cool with people. And now, okay, it's okay to have a little tease with people and say, yeah, I'm better than you, buddy, and it's like that. But as long as it's all done in friendly gesture, it's all fine, you know. But just don't go thinking that you're high and mighty and that you're born to be good, because that attitude really doesn't work anymore. In fact, it never has worked. I remember back in the days of Cabal, which is an old MMO, and I remember when somebody actually came in with that attitude with me and said, "Hey, I was born to be level whatever," and I was like thinking, I couldn't give two shits about your level. I just enjoy playing the game, thanks. Now that was back when PKing was about, which is player driven basically. Boy, do I miss those days. I mean, there's plenty of... no, I'm not going to actually say that. I was going to say there are plenty of players that I would love to PK, but at the same time, that would just put me down on their level, really. Oh, blimey, that's a lot of ships out there. I haven't actually got to use my matrix. I will say I know I said this about most ships, that I do love most of the ships and that, but I'll definitely say the Undine ships, Species 8472 ships, I do actually love, because even when I saw them in Voyager, I thought, ooh, these are pretty interesting. That's something that's actually could actually knock some bells out of balls, basically. However, I do agree with what most people said about Voyager and the Borg, that they did actually, you know, kind of like nerf the Borg and stuff. I ain't got nothing against the fact that Janeway's pretty much known as the Borg Slayer. I'm actually quite happy with that idea. It's just that I do feel pretty much the same what most people said about the series, that they did pretty much nerf the Borg, but at the same time, I'm not showing hate towards the series because I do actually like Voyager and such. I did actually enjoy that show, and I thought it was pretty well done, in my opinion, I'll say. Discovery, on the other hand, I'm still trying to watch all the episodes. I mean, I haven't watched every single one of the episodes and such, but I must admit, when I first did watch Discovery, I was a little bit questioning the Klingons more than anything else, and it took me a while to get used to their ways and attitudes and such. And I did kind of feel what most people felt about towards Klingons, but at the same time, I thought, you know what, give the show its dues, give the show a chance, you know, because it might just be in the early stages and it may get better. And in my opinion, I'll say yes, it does get better, but at the same time, I do feel, I don't know, there's something to me that feels that is missing from it. But at the same time, I'm not going to pull down the show either, because, like I said, the show is still in its, well, to me, the show is still new. The show is still trying to find its foot ground, and I actually think that it's doing pretty well for what it is. You know, I'll still say, you know, give it a chance, but I'm not going against people's opinions or anything like that, because, you know, everyone has their own opinions and such, and I respect everyone's opinions, you know, for what they say and such, and I can understand at the same time, because, you know, like, I mean, even I sometimes agree with their opinions and such, and think, yeah, they have a good point there and all that stuff. But at the same time, I know that some people go way over the top with their opinions, but again, even if they did went over the top with their opinions, I'm not going to argue, I'm not going to fight, because it's an opinion at the end of the day, so, you know. But, yeah, as for the shows, yeah, I do enjoy them, and I mean, I enjoy watching the Discoveries, you know, like the Star Trek Discoveries and such. I did say the Discovery shows there. That's like saying, hey, I enjoy the Discovery Channel. I mean, of course I enjoy the Discovery Channel. Who doesn't enjoy that? I mean, anyway, going back to what's relevant at the moment. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, Star Trek Discovery's not that bad. I mean, it's okay, but it's not that bad either. But, however, I wouldn't say it's my favourite ones, because I would definitely still say I'm more sticking to the original Star Trek and mainly Next Generation. And of course DS9, I mean, come on, who doesn't love DS9? I mean, Cisco was totally badass in it. I mean, seriously. That's just my opinion there. But yeah. Anyway, you may notice that there's a lot of undinned ships in this area, because obviously it's the undinned battle zone. But this part of the area, mostly this mission area, you get a lot of undinned vessels coming at you, because they're coming out from that singularity, or they're coming out from other areas and such. And if you ever want to do the endeavours such as destroy undinned ships, even if it says, you know, in other areas and such, you can guarantee to destroy undinned ships in the battle zones, because I would definitely say this is the best place for it. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but I would say it's a lot more simple as well, because every time when I tried to, I remember one time there was before I got the endeavour for the destroy undinned ships battle zones, there was one where it just said destroy undinned ships in general, basically. And I did try and get a mission up, but the mission wasn't starting because, you know, not many people were playing it and such. So I thought, you know what, sorry, I'll just do it in the battle zone. That would be enough. And you know, that's where it's a little bit more easier. And that's how I found that it was a little bit more easier. I've came across players that has had a go at me for destroying ships in the battle zones, because they were trying to do the endeavour and that. And even though that I was there before them and such, but you know, as far as they're concerned, they thought that they had the actual rights to actually have a go at me for doing that. And I was like, okay, you know, you can have a go at me for that all you want. I'm just going to take it as a pinch of salt. I'm not going to get into the argument with that. The only time when I did say to one person was when, the only time when I did spoke back to one person was when one person said to me about destroying a ship. I didn't know this person was doing endeavours. I didn't even realise that. And this person was like, oh, what's your problem? Why do you do that for? And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just doing what anyone else does, blow stuff up. And they're like, oh yeah, but and then of course they were saying, you know, when I got to the point that they were doing endeavours, I was like, oh, you should have said so. You know, it would help if you actually said, could you please just let me do my endeavours? Then I would have understood. You know, but because that person didn't say please, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick around and do what I've got to do, and then buzz off afterwards. But obviously I wouldn't go around to attacking or trolling and such like that, because, being honest here, the more you attack and troll a person, the more likely you're just going to lower your standards mostly to the level of the standards that you don't want to lower yourself to. So seriously, don't lower yourself down to that standards. Just, it's okay to have good trolling. There's a difference between good trolling and bad trolling. Good trolling is when you use things like for a laugh that make other people laugh. That's the good trolling, you know, when you make other people laugh, even including that person that you're trolling, you know. If you make that person that you're trolling laugh, that's a good troll. But if you make that person angry or upset, then that's bad trolling, you know. And you don't want to do bad trolling. You want to do the good stuff, you know. I know that people say, oh, you know, some people deserve it. I can understand where you're coming from there, but at the same time, don't stoop down to their level. Just, you know. But anyway, this is taking a little bit longer. Oh, right. Ooh. But anyway, yeah. Going back to what's relevant now. Yeah, so far this ship has been pretty good, actually, I'd say. I'm actually quite enjoying it, you know. Mind you, I've always enjoyed the Voth ships and that. Yes, I'm not getting a lot of DPS, but like I said, I don't care for DPS so much. I'm just more happy that I've got the ship, you know, and it's really quite nice. I needed to... I'll just trigger that and... Oh, that's another Voth ship. Shit. Oh no, that was a stupid thing. I should have just waited till I destroyed that, then I could have completed the other endeavour. What an idiot. And I bet you that other player was trying to do that endeavour too. Fuck. Well, if that player was, and that player has seen this video, I apologise full-heartedly for that. I was obviously a noob and a moron. So, yeah. I didn't think that through, being honest. I just thought, yeah, I'll just do that, and then I thought, wait, I could have actually used that to the advantage. But yeah, like the moron I was, I just kind of like went in, not thinking. Hey ho, yeah. So I don't beat myself over it. I just half go instead. But yeah, I do apologise to the players that were trying to get the Endeavour. It didn't work. Or player, whichever it be. I'm not sure how many was. I think it was just only one. Anyway, let's get this Endeavour out of the way, and then we can call it a day with the video. How many have I got? Only got one more. Oh, I may as well wait here. Cool, can you imagine living in a place like this with all this going on? Now that would be crazy. I mean, seriously. I mean, I could be doing like, you know, minding my own business, playing on my computer with all this going on in the background, then it'd be like, what the shit's going on here? Can you keep it down? I'm trying to do my stuff here. And they're like, no, we're just trying to blow up stuff. What, you guys are just, you know. And then the other side would be like, we're trying to protect you, you know, and there's you just complain about that shit. But actually, I'll be more scared shitless if this shit is going on. But I'll be hiding under the bed covers. I'm no soldier, I'm just a person. And I've done the Endeavour. Let's see, shall I? You know what the hell. I was going to call it a day with the video, but I think, you know what? I may as well finish off the battle zone. Get that over and done with. So that way you guys can actually see for yourself the battle zone, what it's like. And I know some of you will say, we already seen it, we know what it's like, da 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 da. But there's some people who are new to this game, who are not even familiar with this game, who actually go, oh, that's interesting. Plus you get to see more of this ship in action as well. Now I would change back to my flight deck cruiser, but obviously this video is about this ship overall, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want me to do another video where I am using my flight deck Voth cruiser, then by all means, you know, let me know in the comment section, and I'll gladly do it, you know, I don't mind. Or if you want me to do certain missions, even if it is the same ones I've already done over and over again, I don't mind doing that, because, you know, if it helps you guys, or if it gives you guys an insight or whatever it is you want, then, you know, I'll happily do that, you know. Ooh, that's a nice class ship. You all remember that one from Star Trek Into Darkness, even though I got that ship on this toon/character. But yeah, every time when I see other players play it, they always seem to make it look epic. One of the players is a prime example of that one is Rachel V. Johnson. She's one of the, like as I keep saying in the other videos, that she's one of the many players that makes her ship look very epic. I'm still actually curious to know how the hell she makes her ship go that fast, and she's a science character. But I guess that's a little secret, I guess. Nah, she would actually gladly tell me if I was to ask for a full, you know, guidance on how to get my ship to be that fast or that powerful and that, because she does actually give me good pointers and good tips and such, and so does the other two girls, like CD and Joe. Those two also give me good pointers as well. Like, they will tell me like to change this trait for that trait, or change this energy system for that energy system. You know, they give me a lot of pointers and tips and such. And so does Rachel as well. She actually gives me a lot of points and things. She would be honest with me and say, you know, about my ships and such. But yeah, those three girls, I would definitely say, you know, if you ever want to talk to them anytime, like I said in the other videos, go for it, you know, because they are very nice people, you know, one of many nice people in there. And I noticed that most of my friends tend to be girls. I rarely have any guy friends, and it's like, wow, I'm surrounded by all these girls. I swear.
Have been revealed. Make your way to their location.
Oh, planet killers.
The planet killers are now active. We have 10 minutes to destroy as many as possible.
Well, this is basically nearly the last part of the actual battle zone. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, I noticed that most of my friends tend to be girls rather than boys. I swear I'm not pimping them out, honest. Or that I'm no pimp or whatever it is. I can't remember. But anyway, hey ho. Now the weakness to a Planet Killer is obviously its front, which gives you a big huge vulnerability to their weapon discharge, because when that thing fires up, it can hurt your ship. But however, because my ship's too powerful and because these other players' ships are too powerful, it does jack. Yeah, it obviously does jack to them. I mean, like this one in front, that's really in front of it and hitting it hard. It's actually doing hard as sod all to it. But I must admit, I do actually miss doing these battle zones and that. I mean, these are quite fun to do and can be epic to do. And I did say I would actually show the...
Use Starfleet's tachyon device to destroy the shielding.
I did actually say I would show the Voth shield matrix at some point. I'll do that eventually. I'm just waiting for the right time and such. Oh, you bloody... That's the trouble with those portholes. They do slow down your ship and... Where's the weapon thing? Ah, there it is. No, it ain't. That's something else. What is... Uh-oh, we've got some lag. So I notice other players' ships are lagging. Where the hell is it? Oh, I am an idiot. The arrow was pointing to it. What a... so I'm an idiot. Now, the one thing I do try and avoid with most of my characters, I do try and avoid using anti-proton too much, because I feel, in my opinion, that's one of the more easiest weapons to upgrade to full power and such. I like to try and take on different weapons, different challenges, like the Tetrion weapons and so forth. And they do say Tetrion is absolutely hard to upgrade and such, but you know, I love a good challenge. But I'm not saying that anti-proton is rubbish or anything like that, because anti-proton is good. It's one of the more easiest weapons to upgrade, especially when you get the 3B consoles and such on missions that can actually aid towards it. And I also say Polarion as well. I am saying that right. Basically, what the Dominion and Green do, basically Polarionic weapons, they're basically good for upgrading, so because you've got a lot of 3Bs in this one. That actually aids towards upgrading, and got 2 more planet killers to do. And also, I'm not sure if you noticed that my ship got hit by that beam, and that it didn't do much to my ship. It's because obviously my ship's defense is a little bit more powerful, and plus this is a level 50 map. I'm a level 65, even though that my level's gone down to 50 for this map, but it doesn't, you know, take away too much of my ship's abilities to defend itself and so forth and so on. I've got to admit, when that thing fires off, it does look epic. And it looks like people have been, yeah, they've been damaged the fuck out of this thing.
The planet killer has been destroyed.
I'm not gonna lie, I do love the way some of these people have their ships customized and stuff. I mean, look at that, that looks epic. Anyway. Not me doing it. I will go fast. No, it looks like I'm going slow, but when you see across the map, I'm actually going quite quick. My flight speed is... that's alright. So I'm just checking in on the important things, because if my flight speed is lower, then that becomes a problem. Oh, one of my masteries has gone up thanks to this. Nice. Or was it due to the fact that I was in the... Oh, it could have been from the Borg PvE or Task Force Operations. Right, slowing down now. Oh. Yeah, a lot of people have been definitely knocking some bells out of this one.
Planet Killer has been destroyed. All 3 Planet Killers have been destroyed. Excellent work.
I should actually do this mission for my Sapphire character because she actually needs to...
There is a massive Voth fleet inbound.
Oh, this is the final part, so you do your Voth
All
ship.
ships return to the staging area.
But yeah, I
must
definitely need to do
prepare
this
for
with
the
my other
Voth.
characters, mainly Sapphire, because she could do the undine marks, sorry, and some of the Voth marks that actually could help towards her reputation. Mind you, she's actually increased quite a lot though. But mind you, I did actually have a few little bits and bobs that actually aided in that area. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I definitely need to do this same with her. Even though that this battle zone is old and such, but I actually still enjoy it and still go in here and so
Destroy all
forth.
the primates. This sphere will belong to us.
So I do actually get a lot of enjoyment out of these battle zones. Even though some people say, oh, they're old and outdated and such. Yeah, maybe so, but you know, it's the little things like this that makes one smile, because you know, you can appreciate the simple things. Okay, where's the rest of them? Yeah, you will notice there is a lot of ships here. But that shows how, you know, how much players do actually play in these battle zones and so forth. Although this isn't the biggest bar yet, because I've seen bigger, especially in the Battlegrounds battle zone, which I would gladly show that at a later date if you want to. I mean, I was going to say I will show the Spear Space battle zone in full at a later date, but because I saw it was almost done, I thought, you know what, why not just get this, just show this while I'm in it, so that way you guys get a rough idea of how the battle zone is and so forth. Plus you get to see more of this ship in action, which I know many of you people be going, oh yes, or some people go, oh, I would prefer to see, you know, something else and such. But like I said, if you prefer to see another ship in action, prefer to see something else, again, let me know, you know. I don't mind. Seriously. If I got the ship, and if I can get to that area and such, I'll I'll gladly, you know, do a video on it. So I have to think there. And holy shit, there's a lot of weapon firing off at one ship. I don't think any of the Voth are going to survive this one. Now that's a ship I would love to have control over for Citadel. That thing is huge as fuck. You know, give me one of them, I'll be happy. Yes, it'd be slow as anything, but I couldn't give two shits. I want that ship, not excuses. I mean, well, I do do wonder how the gravitation. I do wonder how the gravity in these spears actually really work. You know, I'm surprised that none of the ships are falling down to the actual, you know, bombs below and such. But then saying that, these spears are kind of, I don't know. They're not like your typical planet and such. I suppose the gravity in the air could be very well different. I don't know. Got another 2.5 minutes. Well, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Oh, and when these Bulwarks? I can't say the name properly. Anyway, I remember when the Voth Dreadnoughts used to be hard as anything to kill. You know what? I'm actually hoping that they actually do a breach event. I can't wait for that. If they do one of them, now that would be nice to see. Then that way I can actually show you that in action, and that way you can see how tough most of the Voth ships are. In this zone, obviously you're not going to see how tough they really are, because obviously due to the fact that it's a level 50 zone and we're all level 65s and such. It looks like I'm not going to get the opportunity to show the reflective shield in action. But basically, I'm not sure if you actually saw it just a while ago, that one of the Voth ships actually used sort of like a yellow light shield. That's the Voth reflective shield basically, and what it does is it reflects the energies of the beams of other ships right back at you. And holy shit, that's fucking huge. I've got to say that was pretty cool the way that came in like that. But yeah, you may notice these like the yellow field around these ships. And that's basically the Voth reflective matrix, basically. And what it does, like I said, it reflects the weapon's energy back at the other players or other enemy ships. And I will say it's a very handy thing to have. Downside to it is when you've got that active, it does cut your weapon's DPS down for a little while, but it cuts it down in half, I would say. But however, it is good if you want to protect your ship and give it time to repair when you're in a fight and such. In fact, I think I remember using that in one of the other videos on the Voth flight deck. I can't remember. So really, I don't think it's really necessary for me to show it off, I guess. But I suppose if you want to see it on the Voth Psi vessel even. That's what it looks like on the Voth Psi vessel. Pretty sweet, eh? But as you can tell, it does cut your weapons down quite dramatically. But it's meant to protect your ship more than anything else. And this one lasts a little bit longer than its predecessor, but still, it's either way, whether you've got the Tier 5 variant of it or the Tier 6 variant of it, the enhanced or non-enhanced, either way, they're both handy to have. In fact, it's one of many best Voth technologies on the Voth ships. I say one of many. There are others as well, and I know other people say, you know, I find this technology handy, I find that technology handy, and you know what,
The Voth are retreating.
I'll be agreeing with them, you know. And that's the battle zone done. And that's the grand, well, I was going to say grand tour there of the ship, but obviously you haven't seen the inside of the ship, but that's basically the ship shown. And in case any of you are wondering what the ship bridge looks like, I will definitely show you. So that way you can definitely have a small tour of it. And I will say again, this bridge is like any other bridge really. You only get the small part of the bridge, you don't get the rest of the ship, unfortunately, which is a shame because I would love to have seen the rest of the ship and actually gone, ooh, so that's what they have. You know, it'd be quite interesting to see all this quirky stuff and so forth. So yeah, yeah, Cryptic or whoever, you know, make that stuff happen, you know, entertain us, reward us, you know. We could do with something like that. Yeah, something that just makes us want to explore more and just go, ooh, look at that. Even if it's just little tiny things. Not having to go at you or anything, just saying. But yeah, this is the... Now, I apologise if it looks a bit dark on my screen, and that's due to the way my graphics are or the way the TV is and such. But yeah, this is the Voth ship, and yeah, how's that for a big screen TV, hey? Watch all your movies on that and so forth. But yeah, I do love the Voth bridge. It's just really in keeping with them and with their sort of like engineering and sci-fi mix, while at the same time keeping with their military approach. Yeah, unfortunately, this is all you're going to get, really. This is all you're going to get from the Voth bridge. You're not going to be able to get access to anywhere else of the ship, just the bridge section, that's it. Which is a shame, but because I would love to, like I said, explore other sections, but at the same time, you know, at the same time, it's still nice and such. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to doing it again. And again, if you've got any requests or things you'd like me to do in this game, you know, just feel free to let me know, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Until then, guys, you take it easy, and